Today we're going to tell you about our top Pueblos Magicos to visit in 2024. If you don't know what a Pueblo Magico is, it translates to magical town.
There are 177 Pueblos Magicos designated by the federal government, which is intended to promote tourism and afford funds for economic development in towns with rich culture, history, or natural significance.
Basically, if a town has been stamped as a Pueblo Magico, that means it's got something worthwhile to see or experience. And for travelers, that puts places on the map that they might not have otherwise considered. But with 177 of them, how do you decide which ones to visit?
And that's where we can help. We made a list of our favorite Pueblos Magicos of the last 2 years.
This is the second time we make a video like this, and since we made that video in 2021, there have been 40 new magic towns added to the list. And here's that video just in case you'd like to check it out.
If you don't know us, we're Jenny and Kevin, two Mexican Americans from Chicago. We moved to Mexico 3 years ago and currently live in the metropolis of Mexico City.
Today we're filming on the top of our rooftop and you'll be watching the sunset with us.
So, how many Pueblos Magicos have we been to in the last 2 years?
I counted 27 out of 177 and that's only 15%.
That's like,
Yikes.
like almost nothing.
That's, well, it's not nothing, but we've got a long way to go.
So we've been to like Taxco, we've been to Amialco, we've been to
Chiapa de Corzo, San Cristobal de las Casas, Guadalupe and Villanueva, Zacatecas. Which
technically when we went, they were in Pueblos Magicos with their magical.
They weren't
now,
yet,
right?
but they are now. Have you guys been to any of these? If you have a favorite Pueblo Magico, be sure to drop it in the comments below because if we haven't been to it yet, we're gonna add it to our list.
Okay, so let's get to our top 5. Starting with number 5.
San Cristobal de las Casas, which I imagine to be this small, quaint, and quiet town, but actually turned out to be a small city, bustling with tourists, mountain views, perfect weather for drinking coffee and hot chocolate, and lots of incredible nature to explore. Hikes, waterfalls, canyons less than 2-hour drive away. This hands down made it to our top 5, but we did get really sick there with a stomach bug, so that hindered our experience a little bit.
Definitely not what I expected to see in San Cristobal de las Casas. A DJ for a street party. Number 4, we've only been here once, and we were here for Dia de Muertos, and it was an unbelievable experience. Patzcuaro, Michoacán. The thing about Patzcuaro is that we visited during Dia de Muertos, and it was super crowded, but we still got to enjoy the town and a little bit of its essence. We actually recommend that if you're gonna come visit Patzcuaro, that you do it outside of Dia de Muertos. But if you do visit on Dia de Muertos, make sure to check out our video to how to do it right. It's a town that we would like to visit again because the people were very friendly, the food was delicious, and close to Patzcuaro is the island of Janitzio, which we really enjoyed the day after the Dia de Muertos. This island offers a lot to see, some beautiful views and beautiful landscapes and some delicious fish.
Number 3, Coatepec, Veracruz. If you've been following us for any amount of time, then you know that Veracruz is one of our favorite states. So it's no surprise that a Pueblo Magico in this state made it to our list. Proof is in the other top 5 Pueblos Magicos video that we made because Orizaba, Veracruz was on there as well. Amazing town, by the way. Coatepec made it to our tops because it's Mexico's coffee capital, only a 15-minute drive from the city of Jalapa, Veracruz. We love coffee, so to experience a guided tour and tasting at the Bola de Oro coffee farm was a highlight for us this year. And the city of Jalapa has the best coffee culture we've seen in Mexico with the coolest and coziest shops. And the same goes for Coatepec as well. A town with an amazing coffee culture. San Cristobal de las Casas and Coatepec, very similar. But in our hearts, Coatepec makes it up just a little bit higher. Something that Veracruz has that wins our hearts over Chiapas as well is the food. The gastronomy in Veracruz is just unmatched in Mexico. I think only, let's say, Oaxaca can rival it, maybe even Michoacán as well. But in Coatepec, you not only get amazing coffee shops and scenic views, but the food as well, delicious.
Number 2 and number 1 were really hard. We actually disagreed on what's number 1.
Is it too late to call it a tie?
It's too late.
Okay, fine. Number 2 is Atlixco de las Flores, Puebla. Atlixco is located 15 miles southwest of the city of Puebla, making it an easy day trip, but we recommend a weekend because this Pueblo Magico offers so much good food, beautiful gardens, breathtaking views of the volcano Popocatépetl. Say that 5 times fast. You can't even say it once.
We love this Pueblo Magico so much that we actually decided to stay there almost 10 days. We enjoyed our time, the hikes, the walks, the views, everything was so breathtaking.
But especially going to the mercado for some cecina meat. We had cecina, I think, every day for a week, and it was so good, the best I've ever had. I wasn't a fan of cecina before. It's like a dry, cured meat, but the way they prepped it in the market was just delicious, with nopales asados, ensalada de nopal, queso panela, aguacate.
Oh, we should book a trip now because it's only like 2.5 hours away from here.
Yes. So when it comes to Pueblos Magicos, our favorites, they have all the things: the food, the views, the nature, the people, and this one of our tops. And oh my gosh.
Oh, the coffee shop.
Well, the coffee shops, but I was gonna say the garden. That's like the most magical thing in there. The botanical gardens in Atlixco were just amazing.
Oh, you could take that. I'll take my coffee shop right in the middle of the kiosco where you can oversee the entire town.
That was really cool. I loved that. That's my favorite place in Mexico to have coffee for sure. Before we give you Pueblo Magico #1, we want to give the honorable mention to Amialco de Bonfil, Querétaro. The Pueblo Magico of Amialco is the home of the Lele doll, and not only was this a great Sunday that we spent as a day trip eating amazing barbacoa, we had a great time in the museum, and we love the Lele doll and learning about her history. We also want to take a moment to thank our beloved Patreon members who keep us going, especially when times get tough. A big hug and shout out to all the names that you see on the screen here. You can support us by joining us on Patreon, leaving a little tip in the tip jar, buying us a coffee or a glass of wine. Otherwise, the easiest and freest way to support us is by hitting the like button and dropping a comment below. Thanks, guys.
Our #1 for 2024 is known for its rich history, beautiful architecture, and silver production.
The city of Zacatecas is amazing and all, but it doesn't qualify to be a Pueblo Magico because it's already a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Ha! No, silly. It's actually not Zacatecas. It's it's Taxco.
Taxco de Alarcón Guerrero made it to our #1 because, yes, we both agreed in the end, eventually, that it is an amazing Pueblo Magico and our favorite for 2024. Town located in the mountains of the state of Guerrero, about 100 miles southwest of Mexico City. The town's hilly terrain and narrow streets can be a little tricky to navigate, but that's part of what makes it magical. Taxco is known for its well-preserved colonial architecture, those red tiled roofs, whitewashed buildings, and the cobblestone streets. Taxco is famously known as the silver capital of the world due to its long-standing tradition of silver mining and craftsmanship. On the weekends, vendors set up street markets and you'll find a huge variety of silver. So if you're looking for silver jewelry or decor, you'll definitely find it here. And of course, the gastronomy is amazing. Remember we tried that stink bug salsa? Like if you thought having chapulines or crickets was weird, we had this stink bug salsa, which was amazing. The pink mole, like bright Barbie pink mole, which was delicious. We ate so much good food there.
Oh, and then that drink with tequila, honey, and lime. Even though it sounds so simple, they would do it so perfect that
something about
you could just gulp them down. Oh, it was so delicious.
And then the nightlife was awesome. I really enjoyed karaoke. They had a few good bars. There's not a whole lot of them, but the few that there are great. Lots of live music.
We were actually there during rainy season. And rainy season can be a little dangerous walking around Taxco because it's like all uphill, downhill, and the water just kind of streams down. But being able to be in this city while it was raining and seeing it from rooftops, was breathtaking.
But what really sets Taxco apart for us is that nearby there are these natural wonders that make great day trips. There's the Mil Cascadas and Aguas Azules. Each one of them deserves their own day trip. I absolutely loved it. So for a Pueblo Magico, that, like, to me, this one has it all. The nature, the food, the nightlife, the architecture, the people, the artesanías, the history.
Everything was
just loved it. So if you haven't made it to Taxco yet, definitely put it on your list for 2024. Let us know what you thought about our top 5 picks for 2024 and give us suggestions for the next round.
If you made it to the end of the video, make sure you drop that Mexico emoji at the bottom. Se cuidan, se bañan y nos vemos hasta la próxima. Chao.